take us to the next topic, man. Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. My
talking
boy.
about friendships and coworkers working together.
He keeps it strictly business, and I think that's what happened in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm curious to see how long it lasts. I'm not gonna lie. The way that I've seen it, I don't know if it's gonna continue.
You mean their current setup, or?
Yeah. I don't think that.
So let me just.
Let's break this down. Yeah.
Yeah. So sports fans, sorry. Or non-sports fans, sorry if you don't watch First Take. I apologize, but there's really famous personalities. Stephen A. Smith, been a part of ESPN for years. There's a show called First Take where they give their opinions on certain situations that happen around the sports world, specifically head-to-head matchups about who won, who lost. And so it's a debate show where Stephen A. Smith sits across the seat from whoever he's debating. And so the show first started popping off when it was Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless, he went over to Fox, and he's been over there for like 6 or 7 years now. And they replaced him with a gentleman named Max Kellerman, and they've been together since Skip Bayless has left or departed ESPN. So recently, I think 2 weeks ago, this is when it was like bubbling up, and then last week it like happened officially. First Take released Max Kellerman from the program, and it was kind of murky as to why. And then I saw Stephen A. get on, I think it was Hot 97 or something, and just say, yo, the chemistry just wasn't there. I wasn't feeling it. And also the fans were telling me that, hey, bro, we can kind of tell, like, this is off. So he's like, I just listened to the fans. I went up to my bosses and I said, yo, I'm not feeling it. And Stephen A. might be the hardest working dude in sports, I would say. He's got a radio show. He does First Take. He's got Stephen A.'s World now. He does Sports Center.
Yeah.
He goes, flies out and calls games and is reporting and shit. So, like, he makes the bag move over there at ESPN. So if Stephen A. wants somebody out, guess what? They gone. And so that's exactly what they did. He looked out at the same time because he was like, when he was explaining himself, he's like, I knew there were certain places, like openings that Max could go to, and that's what happened.
On the network.
Yeah,
network.
He's
so it's not like he got fired.
Yeah. So he's still on the network. But yeah, that, like, how'd you feel about that? Do you think he was right for that specifically? Do you think it was a little selfish? Like, what do you think about that specific situation and then how he handled it?
So I'm extremely equipped to talk about this because I've been a First Take stan for like 10 years. For real. Like, I mean, it was something that we even watched when we were they had it on in the lunchroom in high school. Yeah.
Right. I've got an unpopular opinion. Like, I love Skip Bayless and I miss him. I wish he would come back and Stephen A. together. Like, that's what I liked. I know he's kind of like, like hot take, and you might not believe his takes and shit, but I think he's entertaining, and I definitely think they're entertaining together. But
he didn't do a bad job, in my opinion. I'm a huge Max Kellerman fan. I think he's extremely intelligent, especially over the pandemic. I commend a lot of the positions he took that he didn't have to take and turn. Look, man. It was a time when sports and social justice issues were tying together, and
every day too,
every single day. And I saw the riff starting. I feel like I don't know for sure, obviously, but when I watched that show and I watched them go back and forth about what they should and shouldn't talk about, honestly, Max won me as a fan for life because I'm a person that's not going to mince words. I'm always going to speak. My mind to things that I think that needs to be talked about and spoken about and addressed, and he does that to a beautiful level. And he talked about things and called people out, called out other networks at times that's for spreading false information and taking narratives and creating narratives for all kinds of different things. And I was like, man, like, and then Stephen A. Smith would get pissed, and I'd be like, bro, let him cook. He's speaking truth.
Yeah, and I can speak to that a little bit because I think I did see a couple interviews during that time when he was separate from ESPN going on other programs. But he was saying that, and this is where I agree with you 100%. I think this is where the riff was starting because Stephen A was saying Max is talking about things like he's a black man. He said that he said that a few times. So I knew that kind of rubbed him the wrong way. I don't know what specific topics that did rub him the wrong way, but
in my opinion, I don't think that's what it was. I think it was from what I watched and the things that Stephen A. Smith was saying, he was never addressing that, in my opinion. I think he eventually said that, but I think
he said that on other networks. He didn't say that directly to Max or
right. Well, he did actually say that to
did
Max.
He
Eventually, yeah.
Okay.
But he did. But I think most of the time he said he was trying to say, look, this is not our responsibility to be calling out other networks and doing things like that. Which, okay, you can say that, but I think there was a time, and still is, where things are. There's a problem here. There's a problem in America that we have been ignoring for a really long time intentionally. And I think that
and Steven had his corporate hat on.
He had his corporate hat on, and I that's where the other narrative of like Max is blacker than Stephen A. and all that kind of shit, which is not a fair thing to say at all. But that's where that came from, right? Was Max was definitely calling things out that needed to be said. And and Stephen A. was like, look, man, this isn't our place to do this, not our job. This isn't a political show, blah, blah, blah. But it was just a time where I think that they were intertwining. And I'm a person, look, man, like I always say, is I'm not going to mince my words. And it's just like, I think that Max was definitely doing that, in my opinion, because things need to be talked about. Things need to be addressed. And I was like, do it, man. Keep doing it. And, I think that's where it started. And I don't think it ever recovered from that. I could definitely see Stephen A. like trying to just, I don't know.
His energy was like kind of gone. Like watching him now.
Looked like he was trying to like attack Max like at every chance, too far, man. Like just going too far a couple times.
His energy was off because like now it seems like he's having fun again to me. Like when he has Michael Irvin on Mondays, Keyshawn on Tuesdays, and whoever they fill out the rest of the week.
And it's a different show now, man. Yeah. And I don't know how much longer it's gonna last. I can tell you that I don't watch First Take anymore because of like that's not the kind of I like the debate of like. I don't know, practical discussion on things and stuff like that. And it seems like Stephen A. wants to do the entertainment side, just have fun. That's it's like, all right, you're I like both, do both, but it's like I think that Stephen A. just kind of like tried to shut off that whole.
I think you hit the nail on the head there because I can understand where Stephen A. is coming because me personally, I like the entertainment side more from First Take and things like that. Yeah. That's why I like Skip Bayless. And I think, and we talked about it when we were talking about Rachel Nichols. Yeah. I think he was a little nervous with Max because Jamel Hill, Michael Smith, everybody who was who was black and not a part of the network anymore, they were trying to do that. They were trying to really
trying to do what?
Regardless how you feel about it, they were really trying to bring in culture and politics into the sports realm. And there's people who subscribe to keep that out of here, bruh. Like, I just wanted you to talk about sports. Like, what happened in the game? Like, let's stop talking about the national anthem. Let's stop talking about knees. That's how some people really feel about, like, their sports and things like that. Yeah. And Stephen A. saw what ESPN was doing to these people who were trying to bring that as a part of their shows and their segments that they had. And so I think when Max was doing that, he was like, fam, we don't do that here on First Take. I think that's what was going on because he was kind of like, I seen Jamel get canned. I seen Michael Smith get canned. I seen Dan Larbitar get canned. I seen these people get canned because they were doing that. So
my opinion is I think he did it right. I don't think that it's not like he continued to do it after like further down when like after the NBA season and things like that. It's not like he continued to bring it up because that I think ESPN was constantly looking for a reason to tie those things together, and they had all the reason to, which they should have, and they did. After they didn't have a place to tie those things together anymore, it's not like Max kept bringing it up. That was that,
Yeah.
and that's where I was like, I don't see anything wrong with the way that Max did it, because he stopped when it was intentional. What I think what happened was, it didn't stop. Like, so when they started to, I also do think that Stephen A had a different vision, even beyond the political stuff. I think the political stuff just kind of started it.
Yeah, I don't think that was the whole reason.
No, I don't think it
I think
is.
that was the tip of the iceberg.
Right. And so when they started to just get back to like talking about sports only, then you could see Max clearly like take things like just going back to being Max. But Stephen A just like, it just looked like he didn't fuck with him anymore.
Yeah, like it was like the energy was off. And me personally, like, I like Max Kellerman. I don't think he's as entertaining as a lot of the other people on there. And I think Stephen A said, like, the fans were like, dude, like, what's up? So I don't know if that's an indictment on Max or just them two as together. But I still like First Take. I still watch it. I think Molly's fine as hell.
Of course.
So I have to keep watching. I don't have a choice.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, let me put it this way. I don't want to say something like I'm shitting on the show or anything like that. I definitely agree with you that the show started to take a hit slowly. Like, it wasn't as entertaining. Max wasn't as entertaining as he used to be to me on the show. I'll still always respect what he did, and
always respect. And I wasn't mad that he was on it, but I'm just comparing him to the other people.
Yeah, you're being objective. You're being objective about it, and I agree. I think that there's probably more people that are more willing to connect with Stephen A. The thing is, man, I hate to say this because I like Stephen A. a lot, but the thing is I think that he doesn't know as much about sports as he claims. I think he knows his basketball.
I think he gets called. He's been getting called on that recently.
Really?
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't. I just know. I don't think he really knows the sports like that. Like I mean, I'm a fan of the show. I've watched it a long time, and I know there's like a lot of things that he doesn't watch. He doesn't know much about sports. Is like, but he's entertaining. He's entertaining.
He's kind of like Skip in the sense that he has his guys. So like, to him, but he's let me backpedal a little bit. He's a lot more objective than Skip because he's like Aaron Rodgers. He's a bad man, but he was the first dude to call him out on Monday, saying, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I don't even mean it like that. I mean, like he literally. When I watched him talk about football, I literally am just watching like a guy that I'm like, man, I don't think you know anything about this game.
Well, that's what I mean. That he has his guys. Like, he just watches his guys.
Oh,
but if you ask him about a team like that's not the Dallas Cowboys or a team that's like off the radar, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just throws in his 2 cents and is like, let's talk about the Steelers again.
Yeah, you know what I mean? 1,000%, 1,000%. Yeah. And like I like to at least know like some knowledge. Like, I like to think that like you know some knowledge about what's going on right here. And I just didn't feel that way.
Like, talk to me about the Miami Dolphins. Like, let's not talk about New England, Kansas City, the ones that you know.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Like that was it. Yeah. So I mean, my position is like, I think there was a different vision there for him. I think there's a lot of things that are like missing in that show that I don't think I'm gonna keep. I don't think I'm gonna start watching it again. To be honest, there's just like little pieces about knowledge that I don't see there. Molly's bad.
Can't miss Molly.
Yeah, that's facts. But you know, I mean, and I hate to say that because I've been watching for so long, but I just think that the show has went a different direction. I don't think the arguments there. Like, I can't buy into the arguments anymore. It's fucked up. Like, I hate saying that, but, like, I just can't buy into it anymore. I'm like, oh, man.
Do you watch Skip and Shannon ever?
No, I don't really. Because they do the same shit. They talk about LeBron and Cowboys every time.
They kill LeBron. Like,
that's all they talk
about.
It's like,
guys, can we not talk about it for one day? That's like us. I mean, we're obviously not that bad, but I feel like it was a month stretch we came on here talking about Kanye or Drake, and it stopped. But they
just
LeBron,
kept going, dog.
They talk about his workout video, his what kind of wine he drank last night. Like, fam, we get it.
Yeah, so I can't watch that.